Dawson Dobson, national motorcyclist, 18 years old, joined us. And Dawson, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Appreciate you being with us. And what's been going on with you?
Well, we just started the off season. So we're getting back on track with our training, our running, our dieting, and our weightlifting, and a good bit of practicing.
What did 2017 bring for you?
2017 was kind of a slow year. I only did a couple of races due to unforeseen circumstances. But other than that, it's just been a full year of just a lot of practicing.
How do you, after a not so busy 2017, how do you ramp it up for 18?
Well, that's the hard part. You don't know what to expect coming in. So you just kind of try to motivate yourself and get ready to go out there for next year.
Now, you actually got involved in motorcycling a long time ago.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
Even though you're just 18 now, how did that get started?
Well, I started when I was about 6. So, my dad used to race, and he raced pro at one point in his life. And, it was just something I decided I wanted to do. And my grandfather bought me my first bike, and my dad took me out, and we started racing.
You remember your first bike?
I do. I still have it in the garage.
Oh, wow. What was it?
It was a Honda CRF 50.
Okay, good. Dawson Dobson, 18-year-old national motorcyclist, our guest here on Daybreak. And it's kind of ironic, we were talking to Dawson before the segment started, and his family goes back a long way with Jim Neighbors. What's that connection?
The connection is it was my grandfather's first cousin. My grandfather helped take Jim out to California and helped him actually get on the Andy Griffith show. He took him all these nightclubs and let him sing. And Andy Griffith was there one night and spotted him and said, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my agent." So.
And that's the rest of the story.
Pretty close to
it. Dawson Dobson, 18 years old. Where's your travels taken you, and what are some of the most challenging courses that you faced?
It's taken me to pretty much most of the 48 out of the 50 states that you can travel to in a vehicle. The toughest course I think I've ever raced is Snowshoe, West Virginia. It's up in the mountains of West Virginia. It's at a ski resort, so you take off on the asphalt of Route 66. You go through the village, and then you go down the mountain, and you have to work your way back up it through the rocks, the mud, the logs, and the trees.
How long a course was it?
It's about a 13-mile course.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, do you get breaks, or is it?
No breaks for 3 hours.
Goodness. How'd you prepare for something like that, or can you prepare for it?
There's no actual way of preparing for it. You just got to do a lot of cardio and hope and pray you're ready.
Yeah. With 2017 coming quickly to a close, and your first competition, in March of next year?
Yes, sir. I believe we'll be starting in South Carolina.
Okay. And how many competitions you already booked for, and how do you book them?
When they release the schedules, we go through and we pick out the ones that we want to go to and the ones that we've had the most fun at and have the best course. For right now, we're booked for around 13 nationals and a few local races. So all in all, probably maybe 15, 20 races next year.
I'm not real bright, but I've been around a long time. When I see number ones, it always catches my attention. Talk about those.
Kendall Full Gas Sprint Enduro is the national championship, as well I have the GNCC national championship here. The Full Gas is on a time basis where whoever sets the fastest time wins the sprint. You have 6 sprints per day, and it's a 2-day event. With the GNCC, it's 2 to 3 hour events, and they do it on, whoever crosses the finish line first. But to have the number 1 place is something very special, and it's something I've worked for a very long time, and I'm very proud to have them.
Well, congratulations on what you've accomplished in the past, and look forward to 2018. Look beyond 18. What do you see as your future in cycling?
I believe I can take it all the way to being pro. Honestly do. Give it a few more years, and I believe I can be one of the top tiers of the pro ranks.
Now, the difference in the racing now
Mm-hmm.
and becoming a professional?
Just a little bit more speed. You know, their cardio is a little bit better than ours, due to them being able to work with certain trainers that only pros can work with. But other than that, it's basically just the speed.
Dawson Dobson, our guest this morning, 18-year-old national motorcyclist, and he has competed in events all across the country. And we talked about the difficult courses. What's some of your favorite courses?
Well, we talked about snowshoe being the most difficult. Well, that's probably my most favorite.
Really?
It's really an enjoyable track. That and Big Buck in Union, South Carolina, it's a great course. It's very fast. It's very rough. And there's usually some factors that play into it with some dust and a little bit of mud.
Different seasons, you race in cold weather as well, I guess.
We do. Due to most of the series being up north, they take a break from November to March. So you get that little bit of time off, and you get about a month and a half off during the summer.
Mm-hmm. We talked about last time you were on about this kind of a family affair for you guys.
It is. My dad, my grandmother go to most of the races. Well, my dad goes to every race. My grandmother goes to most of the races with me. We pack up and bring the dog with us, and it's just a whole lot of fun for everyone.
You guys had a little bump in the road health-wise last year. How's that going?
It's going quite well. My father got sick earlier this year, but thank God he's still here, and he's doing a lot better.
He's with you today, right?
He's with me today.
All right, fantastic. Dawson Dobson, 18-year-old national motorcyclist, I guess. What bike are you riding now?
I am riding a KTM 300. 300 cc's, KTM brand. It's actually one closer to one of the bigger bikes that you can ride. So, a lot of torque, a lot of horsepower.
How do you prepare for competition, not only you physically, but your bike?
On the bike, you know, you just got to go over all the nuts and bolts, make sure everything's tight. You don't want to lose something in the race. You change the oil, change the air filters, make sure the radiator coolant's full, and just go over all the pre-checks, check tire pressures, and make sure everything's good on the bike.
What are some of the rules and guidelines for this type of racing?
Really, the rules are, you know, you can't have any helmet communications like you can in other sports. So it's just you and the bike out there. So there's nobody telling you which lines to take or what kind of lap time.
So you're not communicating with anybody?
Nobody. Well, you know, when you ride by your mechanic, they can have a pit board out, and that's it. So that's a little bit different than other sports.
Oh, it is indeed. I mean, do you just keep that competitive edge while you're riding, and how do you not become sidetracked somewhere? Well,
sometimes you do. Sometimes you let, if somebody hits you or bumps you in the woods, you let the anger kind of overtake you, but you got to overlook that and, you know, think, hey, what if I was the other guy going for that spot? You can't let it get you. Sometimes it does, and it happens to the best of us.
Is a lot of it mental?
I'd say probably 99% of the sport is mental. Mm-hmm. You know, one thing bothers you, it's done. You might as well just park it for the day.
You've been injured in these competitions as well.
I have. I've actually broke 17 bones. And
only 17, huh?
Only 17. I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But I think my worst was probably my ankle. I shattered the growth plate in my ankle playing football. So, go figure, right?
Yeah. the ratio comparing one sport to the other, you know, injury is injury, but 17 broken bones, that's a lot.
It is. I got a scar here or there.
Yeah. So what are you doing during the off season?
You know, just a lot of running, lifting weights, practicing, and I'm finishing up my last year in high school, so I'm getting all that done. Thank you.
How do you keep that competitor's edge?
You know, it's just something that comes from within, you know. It's something that's always been there, and I hope it'll always be there. There's just something about beating the guy next to you on the line that just makes you want to get up and go.
All right. Dawson Dobson, who's an 18-year-old national motorcyclist who has won numerous races and been awarded number ones several times. And we're glad to have him with us this morning. And Jim Neighbors did the song Impossible Dream.
Yes, sir.
What would you share as far as living your dream and continuing to live that dream?
You know, looking at some of it from some perspective, it seems impossible. So, but it's not. And, you know, I like to think that I'm living the dream. And every day that I get to get up and ride a motorcycle is living the dream.
Keep on living it.
Yes, sir.
Dawson Dobson, our guest this morning on Daybreak. Continued success in 2018. We're glad to have you with us this morning, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
More Daybreak just ahead.